Hi, I'm Joe.
And I'm Digna.
Welcome to Relationships.
We're a couple having a few.
Today was supposed to be the Thanksgiving Day, wow. The St. Patrick's Day parade.
Ahead of the ball game.
Yeah, well, you know, you can never get too much turkey. But today was supposed to be the St. Patrick's Day parade in downtown Melbourne, where we're from. And because of the old coronavirus, it was canceled. So
thanks a lot, Corona.
Yeah. So, and you know, forget Corona. We're going with Guinness today because, you know, it's not actually St. Patty's Day for another couple of days, but we're in the mood for some St. Patty's Day. So we decided to start off with an Irish car bomb. So, I mean, I'm assuming there are a lot of different ways to do it, but our version of the Irish car bomb, you just take your little glass, and we do have actual Guinness glasses. I got them for like a Christmas present years ago.
Oh, official.
Yeah, they're established in 1759. So we're going to take this Guinness here, and we're going to take a shot glass with Baileys. So, and we even went all out. We got actual Baileys. We didn't.
Yeah, none of that cheap crap.
Oh, farties or whatever. So we're going to go ahead and depth charge it and chug it up. Oh man, that's like ice cream.
Takes me a little bit longer.
Does take her a bit longer. So we are going to be doing this show. I think we're going to aim for a weekly release. We'll see if we can try to make time in our schedule, kind of make it almost like a mini date night. The whole purpose of this is going to be just kind of, you know, getting to know us, I guess, is part of it. But because I do have another podcast, so if you are listening to this podcast, maybe you already know about it. It's called Drinking and Driving, and I go to different breweries, may also end up being distilleries. We're still working on that at this point. Alcohol manufacturing places, and I just do an interview with the brewmaster and things like that. So that show is based in alcohol, so I figured, you know, to bring something else to the table. We've been married almost 18 years now.
And we really, really like to have some drinks.
Dranks. That's
dranks.
That is
DRANKS.
Yeah, that's the high caliber of human being we are. We have dranks. This evening, we're probably not going to be doing a depth charge type drink every episode, but we are going to have something and showcase a beverage. So this evening, I think we went a little bit safe, and since it is St. Patty's Day, or St. Patty's Day adjacent anyways, we went ahead and we did a Guinness and cider mix. We'll get a picture up on the Facebook page. And the Guinness and cider mix, I guess it's sometimes called a black velvet. So the black, obviously, no?
Definitely. No, wait, is it? Or is it a snake bite? I always get them confused.
Yeah, well, it depends on where you go. So Meg O'Malley's, they know it as a black velvet, but I've heard it called a snake bite. So it's one of those things that probably has a couple of different names, but that's the name. We're going to go with black velvet. We're sipping on that this evening. So it's got a little bit of sweetness with the cider. I think we just went safe with an Angry Orchard.
We are very thematic in this house. We like to stick with, you know, the holidays and the fun colors, and anything that calls for celebration, we want to celebrate it properly. So, you know, we want to go with the Guinness, the actual Guinness. Well, I guess what's the actual cider we're supposed to be drinking with this?
Yeah, I mean, take
not
your pick, I guess.
Angry Orchard.
I'm sure it's not Angry Orchard, but you know, we
so
try.
We're not
our
100%
best.
authentic, but we're trying.
So this show, outside of the alcohol, is just going to be a time where we just kind of discuss our relationship. We've been together we've been married for almost 18, and just add 5 to that. So 23 years is how long we've been together. So not that we're relationship experts, but we have had some ups and downs. We've had military time where we've been apart. I think it was like the first 2.5 years of our relationship, we weren't even stationed, or sorry, not our relationship, our actual marriage. The first 2.5 years of our marriage, we weren't even stationed together. I was in Florida, I was in Georgia, sorry, and she was in Texas. And, things like that obviously take a toll on a relationship.
You have to rewind. I was in California before Texas.
Oh yeah, so she
It
was
was a
even,
lot of time.
yeah, she was even further away. Yeah, so she was in California, and I was in Georgia. Actually, I was in Korea while she was first got to California, and then shortly after.
We need to get our timeline situated. We forget where we've been and when.
I mean, there's a lot of time in there, but we do have. We waited a long time. I recommend it. I can't. I'm not nothing against people who have kids right away, but we were married about 12 years before we had my son Desmond.
My son.
Yeah, I don't know. He acts a lot like me. But yeah, we just, we don't really do anything super duper crazy. We're not professional bungee jumpers or anything like that. We're just your average people trying to live a good life, trying to retire, before we, die at our desk at work, those kind of things.
You say we're not crazy, but it is 12:07 a.m. and we just finished making some wine. Just for funsies, because, who doesn't make wine at midnight on a Saturday when you could be out, partying with all of your ones of friends?
Well, I mean, keep in mind everything being canceled, so we decided to stay home. But yes, we did decide to make some wine. We have a loquat tree. If you look it up, loquat is also called a Japanese plum. It's a small fruit. I would say it's about as big as, think of the biggest grape you've ever seen, ones with the seeds in it. A little bit bigger than that. That's pretty much the size of them. They're kind of egg shaped, but yeah, they are, I guess they're considered a stone fruit, like a plum or a peach or something like that. They're kind of tart. So what we did is there's a house here in our neighborhood, and the real estate agent that's listed said, yeah, pick all you want. So I said, okay, we'll do that.
Did not steal them. It was legal.
I mean, they were falling on the ground and no one was going to eat them anyway. So yeah, we went up there and we grabbed a whole bunch. I think we ended up with a full 5-gallon bucket.
We filled a whole bucket.
Like a Home Depot bucket. We just filled it with these things. We picked them on Thursday, so now it's Saturday. I guess it's technically Sunday now. But we picked them and we let them sit in the bucket for about a day or two. And then we started, you got to take, because they do have a bunch of pits in there, so you got to get all the pits out. And then you kind of mash them together. And then you mix them with water and sugar. And once you do that mix, you boil it up and all that stuff to kill any other bacteria or anything like that. And then once it cools down, you pitch the yeast, and the yeast is what does the magic. So your yeast eats sugar, and it turns that sugar into alcohol and carbon dioxide. With the carbon dioxide, we could actually carbonate this beverage, before it's all said and done.
Right now we have some real high quality loquat juice.
Yes. I don't know about the overall quality, but it's
mediocre quality.
It's definitely sweet.
Midnight quality.
It kind of, to me, after boiling it and all that stuff, because like I said, you put the sugar in there. After boiling it, you end up with a sweet. To me, it has like I don't want to say cinnamon, but it reminds me of cinnamon or something. I'm not sure, like a muffin. I don't know, but that's what it kind of reminds me of. But we've made some like mulled wine before, but that's kind of what it reminds me.
Not mold. MOLD, mulled.
Yes,
just
mulled.
Just so we're clear, we're not making mulled wine up in here.
I mean, people do all sorts of great things with fungus, and you got your the black truffles are worth like a ridiculous amount per pound and things like that. So who knows, mold, fungus, bacteria,
cheese out of that stuff. But yeah, no, we're not doing that with our wine.
Well, I think I mentioned in an episode of my other podcast, went through a whole list of all the good things you get because of fermentation and things like that. I mean, you wouldn't have things like cottage cheese, which I know some people can take it or leave it, buttermilk and all this.
Sauerkraut, kimchi.
Yeah.
So many yummy. Well, I guess that's different kind of fermentation, but still
it's
really
still
good.
It's still fermentation, so you get all that kind of stuff. Kombucha, if you're into that kind of thing. It's not that I'm not into that kind of thing, but I just...
Kombucha and vodka is way better.
Kombucha with vodka?
Yeah. Not made with vodka, like kombucha plus vodka.
Oh, so if you
take out all the health benefits, and there you go.
I mean, you still have the health benefits in there, or do you kill all the good stuff with the alcohol?
It is vodka.
I'm not sure. Maybe you don't want to try those together, because then you think you're doing something good for yourself, and then you end up with not that great of a thing. This is just supposed to be an intro episode, so there is going to be a little bit more substance on future episodes. We just really wanted to kind of get the ball rolling, get ourselves out there, kind of get a feel for it. At the end of every episode, and this one is going to be a very short episode, so don't worry, the other ones aren't going to be super long, but we will kind of come up with a little bit of an outline and things like that. But at the end of every episode, I'm going to grab a random card from there's a deck of cards that are called pod decks. P-O-D as in podcast. It's called pod decks. And I got a couple of decks of these cards. I recently went to a pod fest is what it's called. So it's just like Comic-Con, I guess, or a convention of some sort, but specifically for podcasting. So with that, they did have someone there and they were selling something called pod decks. It's just little kind of talking points. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give them a shuffle. I've not looked at any of these cards. I think there was like a card or two sitting at the convention, but other than that, I've not seen any of these cards. Give it a little shuffle real quick, just a little. And there's going to be a talking point on here. So I don't know if it's going to be like Cards Against Humanities, like one of those really, really bad ones. Hopefully not, because we're going to learn a lot of stuff in our first episode. I'm not playing Truth or Dare right now. Or it's just going to be something fun, just a little talking point. So just give it a quick little shuffle, give it a little cut.
Never have I ever.
Exactly. So here we go. Question 1. What's your guilty pleasure?
Food, TV, food, subject matter, specific. Honestly, the first thing that visually I could see in my head was Reese's Peanut Butter Puffs cereal, which is ridiculous and childish, and I should not feel guilty about eating that. However, that's what popped into my head, so that's what I'm going with first.
I don't think there's a wrong answer unless it's like doing your taxes.
I do love that cereal. But there is a genuine argument between Reese's Peanut Butter Puffs cereal and Cap'n Crunch peanut butter cereal, and I don't even know how they compare because one has chocolate and one doesn't, so they're not even the same. But yeah, no, Reese's Peanut Butter Puff cereal is my fave. And I'm trying to think of like a TV show that would even be my guilty pleasure, but yeah, it's always food related. My head always goes straight to food. I don't know. So
your guilty pleasure is...
It's just food.
It's going to be that cereal. So I just had to look it up just for good measure. The dictionary. This is the Oxford Dictionary. They said something such as a movie, television program, or piece of music that one enjoys despite feeling that it is not generally held in high regard. I mean, I guess food could be on there.
Okay, fine. I listen to a lot of Spice Girls. I mean, honestly, nobody really likes them, but a lot of people really love them. So, yeah, pop music in general, yeah. But Spice Girls specifically.
I mean, I was actually thinking, you said Spice Girls, but I was actually thinking more of Aqua for you with the come on Barbie, let's go party kind of thing. Because you seem to really enjoy that. And it's like...
Just because I know all the words does not mean you're allowed to judge me.
It's like nails on a chalkboard to me.
Come on, Joe, let's go party. I don't know. No, it's fun. Those songs were fun. So that and the blue never die. Who even sings that? What is that? But I loved it so much.
It's like, I don't know. I feel like it's like Eiffel 56 or something like that. It's something.
You would know that. You would know that. These are things that he would know.
Yeah, it's something like that. I mean, it's I don't know anything. So
if you ever want to know a random fact, just ask Joe.
Yeah. So my guilty pleasure, even though I don't think it should be called a guilty pleasure, but in my house, it would fall into something that you like that other people don't like. What's the band?
Eiffel 65, not 56. You were just ever so slightly wrong, but still remarkably correct on such a random piece of junk fact.
Yeah, so mine would be a movie that I've enjoyed for a really long time, but the consensus around my house is that it's not liked.
We like The Matrix.
So yeah, it's not that movie.
Oh.
So the movie
Is it City of Gold? Because it's fake.
No,
that is a fake show.
That's an entire
City of No.
That's
We're gonna
that's an
talk about this later,
that's an
but
entire episode right
it's
there.
a fake show.
No, the movie Dazed and Confused.
Ugh.
See?
Okay, by household, he just means me, because we haven't showed this movie to our 5-year-old.
Yeah, that's probably for the best.
But no, they're terrible children, and it's a bad movie, and I hate it. There, I said it.
It is such a great movie, and I have watched it more times than I can count. I had it on VHS and I had it on DVD. But yes, that is my go-to guilty pleasure movie.
I had Titanic on VHS and DVD. That doesn't mean they were good.
I mean, yeah, I'll agree. Titanic was not good. You're right. I'm sorry.
Except he bought me the VHS and the DVD.
Because I was in love, and love makes you do stupid things.
Shocker.
And I worked at the video store, so that was kind of cool. Yeah, so we're definitely going to dive into more things in the future. But I think really for now, this is a good place to jump off. We're sitting at just shy of maybe 20 minutes, so this is something you can probably listen to on your way to work. I don't have a catchy tagline. I don't know if I can use my tagline from the other one, but we'll just go with, once again, this is Relationships, and we're just a couple having a few.
This has been a Getting to Know Brews presentation.
Music provided by purpleplanet.com. That's purple-planet.com.